We haven't been any good, and yet here we are.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back. He is Daniel. I am Clint. Together we are Locked On Bulldogs, part of Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's episode brought to you by Game Time. More on them in a moment. We're talking how Georgia's schedule, we said to begin the year,
yes,
many people believed this was an easy schedule to go through. Turns out we said just because we flip Alabama, Texas, home and home to now we're at home against them.
Yeah.
Don't think this is an easy schedule. And Ole Miss. Yeah,
Big having that game at home, obviously.
Oh, my. Daniel and I still not recovered from that.
Significant to some.
If I
that guy in the white hat.
Guy in the white hat and I feel, I don't know what soul bonded is.
Yeah,
but I feel like he and I are there now.
Sure. If I tell you this, if the guy in the white hat had a lake house, he'd probably invite us to it. That's all I'm saying.
If three people that you were good friends with went to a lake house all the time and invited strangers before they invited you?
Yep.
Okay. Look, Georgia is in a good position to get to the playoff. And we've said this the entire year. And Georgia fans, you don't have to like this, but this should be every single college football program's goal in NIL, expanded playoff, conference realignment. This is now the goal. You can't have more than 2 losses. Point 1.
Yeah, if you're in a Power 4 conference.
Power 4 conference. Don't have more than 2 losses. Get into the playoff and get hot.
2 steps to winning a championship, friends. Have the number 1 recruiting class in the country. Have the number 1 transfer portal class in the country. Win your rivalry games. Nope, ask Ohio State about that. Get to the playoff.
Yep.
Can't win the championship if you're not in the playoff. Get hot. That's the recipe. So you can only control one of those 2 things during the regular season.
Yes.
Does Georgia need to win a conference championship?
No.
No, they do not. I mean, I'll take it. I'll take a banner. They're going to hand them out.
Sure.
Georgia doesn't need a conference championship.
No.
I'm not advocating for losing games.
No.
But I'm trying to say all you need to do is get into the playoff and get hot. Georgia, as I mentioned in the open, has not been good this year. They've not,
and by the way, when we say not good, we are according that to our standards.
The Georgia standard. They're not been good for Georgia. Of course, they've been good for South Carolina.
Exceptional for South Carolina.
They've been good for Ole Miss.
Exceptional for Ole Miss.
That's not my standard. Okay. I get Georgia 7-1. Georgia has beaten ranked teams, highly ranked teams in Ole Miss and formerly Tennessee, RIP to Josh Heupel and the Tennessee Volunteers, because see what had happened was you got run out of your own stadium by the Oklahoma Sooners. Okay. So I get that Georgia has won games, but Georgia fan, you and I both know there's a very real world in which this Georgia team is 5-3 or 4-4.
Yep.
I can close my eyes and easily get to 4-4 right now. Auburn
done.
Ole Miss, Tennessee. Like, I did not have to work at all, and I didn't even count that thing we just watched on Saturday.
It's not.
There's a world in which Georgia's 4-4 right now. We are somehow by the skin of our teeth 7-1.
Come on.
And I mean the skin of our teeth. And yet, when you look at what's in front of Georgia, it could be the most advantageous situation that 8 games into a season this Georgia team has ever found itself in. I will explain what I mean by that, but first, these.
These are, in fact, Game Time. Game Time is fantastic. Get over there right now. College football is back. Couldn't be more excited. Get out of endless queues, hidden fees, and price jumping at checkout to get tickets. That's why Daniel and I use Game Time. The app that gives the advantage back to the fans. Easy way to score last-minute tickets, best prices, no surprise fees. What you see is what you pay. Honestly, it's faster, cheaper, and less stressful than any other way we bought, and we've tried all the other ways. Take the guesswork out of buying college football tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code LOCKEDONCollege, $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, promo code LOCKEDONCollege, $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Game Time today. Daniel, you were talking about how we could easily be 4-loss Georgia, which again is not a stretch of the imagination whatsoever. Easily be the case. This defense being lackluster from what we expect. Gunnar Stockton, the offense, resurgent, but having down games, inconsistencies, even in the quarterback position from him, last game included. You talked about how we are in a very, very, very advantageous position. We have a month of November. Okay, I know that we have
a whole month left. 4 games left.
4 games left. Month of November. Charlotte in there, Mississippi State in there, but the big 2, Texas and Georgia Tech. Now, some luster off of those teams, but I'm going to tell you this right now. Texas,
both good teams,
stop. This was first segment. They're getting hot at the right time.
Yeah, they're figuring it out.
They're not a good team.
Teams figure it out.
They're not a good team. Their offense is a liability. Their defense is pretty stout, but leaky at times. However, they're solidifying things at the right moment. That is a good team.
Yeah, they are a good team. They're absolutely a good team. They're figuring things out. Listen, I don't want to look past Mississippi State. And and we're going to get into more talk this week about Mississippi State. This is a game on the road. This is a team that has really fought this year. They got their first conference win against Arkansas, but they've been in games. Should have beaten Tennessee. Should have had some other wins. They've been close at times. It certainly has looked like a gettable defense.
Yep.
I don't see a scenario where Georgia loses to Mississippi State. I may hate the fact that I said that 7 days from now.
I think when you're just talking about the DNA of a team, they're totally different teams. These are on different platforms and, whatever.
It's not like the Kentucky game, but it is more like the Kentucky game than it is the Ole Miss game. So if I give a win there, obviously I'm going to give a win at Charlotte.
Yep.
You're looking at a 2-game season for Georgia. What did you say the record was that we needed to have?
You can't have more than 2 losses.
So that means Georgia only needs to win 1 of those 2 games, and they're comfortably in the playoff. I'm talking about comfortably in the playoff, and they don't even have to win the remainder of their games. They have an insurance policy. All of these close wins have added up and allowed Georgia to now be in a position where they've got a little wiggle room, Clint, in order to work their way into this playoff. Now, might we not get a first-round bye?
Sure.
We may not. Might we not get to host a game in the first round?
Okay.
We may not. But I'm here to tell you, none of that matters. What you need to do is make the playoff and get hot. There ain't no team in this country that I wouldn't. I think Georgia's got a shot against them.
And that's exactly right. We're going to come back. I'm going to tell you why. The 3 games, I'm taking Charlotte out. Georgia has a distinct advantage in any one of those games to win. But first, this. And this is exactly FanDuel. NBA's back. No better place to get on the action than FanDuel. Official sports betting partner of the NBA. Combine live bets in a same game parlay for a shot at bigger payout. And don't worry about being late to the party. You can do live in-game fourth quarter comeback bets. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when you have a first $5 bet and you win $300 bonus bets straight to your account. Head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA.
Clint, you told us you were going to discuss Georgia's chances in these last 3 games, dive a little bit deeper into this schedule. Where do you want to go?
Let me start with Mississippi State first. Daniel talked about, I don't see a scenario. Arkansas is a worse defense than us. Just straight up, no shade. Okay, don't fight me. Arkansas had, I think, 13 penalties for over close to 100 yards in penalties against Mississippi State. Mississippi State, Levy is a good coach. There's rumors that with all this bloody SEC mess going around, I think Mississippi State has a good coach. And Levy, I think, is going to sneak up on a couple of people. Will he make them into a program that lasts? I have no idea. But their offense can hum. Their defense is suspect. But the advantage there is literally what we said on the first part of the podcast was these coaching decisions and these micro decisions that Kirby Smart makes in this Georgia team has more metal in it than Mississippi State. So it's going to get weird. And at the end of the day, it's like a kid who's just like slapping your face and it looks really frenzied and like, oh my gosh, doing a lot of damage. No, not really. Let me go ahead and actually give you old man strength. And that's what Georgia has against Mississippi State.
To be clear, Clint would never hit a kid.
I would never let the record state while at Vanderbilt.
Nor an elderly Vanderbilt.
The elderly man that said many things to young children did not receive what others.
Right. He would also never approach a child and interact with a child that wasn't his child.
Why do people? I can't even with you guys. I can't even with you guys. Why Ole Miss fan? Why tailgate?
What are we doing?
Texas. Here's the distinct advantage that Georgia has against Texas. And I think you look at Texas, two things. Arch Manning, well, just hold that. He had a good game, but I've seen better quarterback play and Kirby find ways in big moments to shut down the quarterback play. So you talk about running attack. Well, we're starting to see our defensive line do fine against the running attack. Here's the distinct advantage. We face the best, I've said this last podcast, we face the best defense in the nation in Auburn and did just fine against them. Texas can tout all you want. Texas, I'm sorry. You don't have the best defense. You got gashed against two teams that Georgia head and shoulders above offensively. Okay. Gashed. Vanderbilt, good story. Diego Pavia, good story. Our offense is far superior to Vanderbilt's. Diego Pavia is a great, again, one-man crew. Awesome. Our distinct advantage in the Texas game is our offense can go get buckets of points against that defense. I have no problem with that. And then Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech game, of all the games remaining, scares me the most. I'm not kidding you. It scares me the most of all 4 games remaining. Why? Because the OC and the head coach are dang good at their jobs. And Haynes King can run and can pass and set up. That offense is humming. Deep balls and play action, getting behind defenses. Remind you of anybody, Daniel, that might be playing. And that defense is opportunistic and feisty, and Brent Key wants nothing more to beat Kirby Smart. That's all he cares about. And Buster Faulkner is a dude on the offensive side. But our advantage there, Daniel, our advantage there is Georgia Tech is a run-first team.
They are, definitely. Haynes King.
Hands down, a very, very good running team. Very good running team.
Yep.
No running attack scares me. None. Our defense is susceptible in the secondary. But front seven, CJ Allen, healthy, whole, figuring things out.
And whole.
I trust them. Those are the advantages left for us. And we only have to, like you said, we could take an L. One of those 4, we can take an L and still be fine. 8 seed is still well within grasp with 1 L.
Yeah, Georgia, 8 games into the season, certainly nothing is decided. Georgia in a really premium spot to make the college football playoff. And again, that's all you need. Just give me a bite at the apple. He's Clint. I am Daniel. We'll be back tomorrow talking about this Mississippi State game, breaking down all the angles for it, maybe a little by the numbers, and we will talk to you guys then.
See you.